But I gotta tell you, we are just getting started with Corvette.
If you are one of those who like and enjoy driving, you owe it to yourself to try this car.
So a little bit of a preview of what's to come. I'd like to thank everybody for coming here and tuning in.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Brink of Speed. Today we are going to talk about GM's C8 reveal Easter egg that no one is talking about. And before we get started, I just want to say that I have not yet gotten on here and talked about how amazing this C8 is, where I go over each part of the C8 that's just absolutely mind-blowing to me. I've seen lots of videos out there. They say, most people say everything that I've wanted to say about it, but I haven't been able to say it myself and just kind of tell you guys my favorite parts about this new C8. I want to talk about a few things that really stand out to me that just make me know for a fact that GM absolutely knocked this out of the park. And I mean, if you watch some of my earlier videos, I've been doing C8 content for a while now. If you watch some of those videos, you will see that I made a lot of predictions about this car, and they seem to, or a lot of them seem to come true. And I really, really love that GM paid such close attention to making this car what it is, and what it is going to accomplish for GM is absolutely outstanding and just mind-blowing. So obviously the first thing that you see on this car is the exterior. And in my opinion, the exterior is absolutely gorgeous. I don't see how they could have done much better than they did. The lines on this car are just out of this world, sleek and sharp, and just, you can tell they're going to cut through the air absolutely amazingly. The thing that I love so much about this car is that you can actually see a high top speed being done by this car. Whereas when the C7 came out, it definitely looked amazing. It definitely looked fast. But to me, it didn't show top speed. It seemed to have a lot of drag on it. And this car doesn't look like that at all. This car looks like it is going to cut through the wind like, no other. And so obviously I'm a huge fan of the exterior. There's some people that don't like it, but I absolutely love it. Now, as far as the interior goes, I'm the exact same way. I don't think that GM could have really gotten this any better than they did. It's super, super simple when it comes to the instrument gauges, and they must have heard one of my videos because I absolutely stated that I wanted there to be like aluminum buttons and switches, and that's what we've got on a couple of the buttons and switches, so that's so cool. I really do like how they put a number of buttons in the center console there in a line. I'm certain that eventually, after driving this car for a little while, people are going to get super used to it, and they won't even have to look over there. They'll know exactly what they're touching and changing. I love the steering wheel. It just looks like you're sitting in a race car. A lot of people say they love the Ford GT. This car has the exact same type of steering wheel that the Ford GT has. I love how huge the paddle shifters are. Obviously, I love that this car is a dual clutch transmission. But the interior of this car couldn't have been done any better than it is, in my opinion. I feel like the contrast on the seats with the different two-tone colors, and then also you can get stitching that's a different color, and you can get a seat belt that's a different color than anything on the inside of the car. You can actually make your seat belt match the outside of the car. And then to top things off, you've got this gorgeous, huge infotainment screen that faces you, and then this gorgeous, huge instrument cluster screen that is just, I mean, it's massive. And so the interior, GM, you absolutely knocked it out of the park there. Plus, on top of that, there is more leg room and more headroom in this car than the C7. So this is going to be huge for GM also. They listened to buyers that wanted to get the C7 that used to fit in a C6 and could not fit in a C7. So they did an excellent job of correcting that and making it so that this interior would fit a taller person. And also, they made it easier to get in and out of. I don't know how to explain it, but when I sat in this car at the reveal and I got in it, it felt very easy getting in it. And then getting out, it felt so much easier than my C7 Z06. Moving on, the horsepower and torque were a little bit, just a tiny bit disappointing to me. I feel like GM made that up though with the performance of that horsepower and torque. We all know that the rumor was that this car was going to have around 520 to 530 horsepower, and it didn't even come in at 500, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why they didn't go ahead and just add another 5 horsepower to make it an even 5, but they didn't. It's 495, and that's okay, because this car does 0 to 60 in 3 or less seconds. I don't even care if it's just 3 seconds, but they're saying less than 3 seconds. So that right there is unfreaking believable for this car to have that low of horsepower and have that low of 0 to 60. Also, the handling. They say that the C8 Stingray is 50% stiffer than the C7. That is mind-blowing. And so I feel like they knocked it out of the park with that also. And then, as you saw in my last video, I specifically asked if the mag ride in my C7 Z06 with the Z07 package and the mag ride update would translate or would be as good as the C8 mag ride. And basically he said no, it's not even close. We're much higher in the technology with that, and that the new mag ride works completely different than the old mag ride, and it's unbelievable. So that's another thing that just absolutely is amazing. You know, their mag ride suspension was already sought after by a lot of other manufacturers because it was so freaking good. Now they've made that mag ride even better. So what do you think car manufacturers are going to do now? Now, here's another thing that is very impressive about this car. GM actually went to Michelin and had them make special all-season tires for the base model Stingray. Then my favorite part is that the Z51 package gets my absolute favorite tire by Michelin, and that is the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. I had those on my 2009 Z06, and they were phenomenal in the dry and the wet, but more so in the dry. Moving on, the new colors. Now, I really love the Rapid Blue. I really love the Accelerate Yellow. And so, and if you're a businessman and you're buying this car as a daily driver, I would highly recommend checking out the Zeus Bronze, because that shows nothing but class and luxuriousness in the color alone. So I really think that GM knocked it out of the park with the colors also. Now, moving on to the front end lift. This front end lift absolutely blows my mind how smart this thing is. I don't think there's another supercar out there that has this feature. All, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, a lot of them have the front end lift, but you have to press a button whenever you get to a point where you need to use it. With this new C8 mid-engine Corvette, all you have to do is press the button where you need the front end lift, and it memorizes 1,000 locations. So when you go back to that location, it lifts it automatically. You don't have to hit the button again. That is amazing. And GM, thank you for listening to everyone out there that wanted a front end lift for their Corvette. So thank you. The options inside and out are unbelievable. I recently got on and built my car. Not how I'm going to actually, get one, but I built it to just be like my dream C8 Corvette. And there are millions of things that you can do to this car to make it your own. I love it that the colors on the outside don't change what you can do on the inside. That's one thing I did not like about the C7 is if you had a certain exterior color, you could not have a certain interior color. I love how they just let you do anything you want to this car and make it your own. So thank you, GM, for doing that. Now, lots of cargo room is another thing that people were begging for in this car, because with the C7 and previous Corvettes, you could always fit lots and lots of cargo in there in the back. I mean, me and my wife, we use it all the time to go to Costco in the grocery store, and we can always fit all of our groceries plus more. I take it golfing. I can fit two sets of golf clubs back there, plus more than that in the rear of my C7. So with these front trunks and the rear trunk combined, you can fit all sorts of stuff in this car. So people are going to love that, and I already do. My next favorite thing about this car is the beautiful engine bay. Corvette is always known to have a good looking engine when you lift the hood. I love it that the engine cover looks absolutely beautiful, and that you have an awesome window to look through and see that engine from the outside. Now, as far as the GM Easter egg goes, when Mark Royce said we are just getting started and then proceeded to show the video with C8R in it, I think this was a message not just for us, but also to the whole world. He wanted to let everyone know that GM isn't playing around anymore. They aren't tinkering with the same old toy trying to make it seem better than the other kids' latest and greatest toys. GM has now set the standard, and this will only keep going higher with each model of C8. Now, continuing on that Easter egg trend, he also showed the C8R to give us a glimpse of what the C8 Z06 and ZR1 might look like. And in the same context of we are just getting started, he wanted everyone to know that the Z06 and ZR1 are definitely planned for this C8. In my opinion, these were GM's Easter eggs. And I'm not going to go into any kind of details about the Z06 or ZR1. This video was not to talk about the Z06 and ZR1. It was to talk about the fact that Mark Royce, at the end of this video, showed the C8R to give you guys and to give the world an example of what C8, Z06, and ZR1 might look like, and also to show the racing world we're coming for you. Watch out. So that's going to do it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed watching the latest videos that I've done on the C8. I have much more content coming your way. I'm probably going to be putting out a video almost every day until I just run out of stuff to talk about with this car. And so I've got another interview coming your way from the reveal, so look for that here soon. I also will have an update about my engine in my C7 Z06 soon. But until then, if you have not joined the Brink of Speed community, make sure you smash that red subscribe and bell notification so that you're notified when my new content comes out. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful rest of your week, And I will see you guys, and I hope a new C8 out on the road.